Okay, guys. Welcome to the Leadership Game episode 5, Leadership Game podcast, episode 5. And today I have a wonderful guest, as always. It's a joy and a privilege to get people who are making impact, who are doing something in their world, in their business, in their platforms, to make a difference, again, even to the hearts and minds of people all around the world, whether professionals, young people, whatever sphere of influence. Our goal is to continuously bring people to share their journey with us, their story. And as you know, in Leadership Game podcast, we understand that there are the complexities and the simplicity surrounding leadership, because leadership can be very subtle. So we need to understand it. And the reason why we call it a game is because we need to win this game. It's a game that you cannot be casual about, that you have to be intentional about. So you can get out of it, you can do stuff, and you can pass the baton to the next people around you. So today, hey, before I go too deep into it, I have no other person than Val Okafor joining us from the city of Abuja, which is the capital of Nigeria. Val, what a pleasure to have you here.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much, Mr. Kelvin, for having me on this beautiful show. Really, really
Hey.
beautiful show. Yeah.
Hey, it's a privilege and it's a pleasure on our part. And we were just talking backstage about the mutual friend that we have, Prince, who introduced us together. I think a couple of
Mm,
3 years or 4 years back, 4 or 5 years ago. We had a chat anyway, and this is our very first conversation. So it's going to be very, very open, and we want we want you to listen on and obviously get some juices from Val. Val, a lot of people might be
yeah.
wondering and asking, who is Val Okafor? So tell us about your
Yeah.
journey. Tell us about yourself.
Mm,
Mm,
awesome. No, so Val Okafor is a simple guy, a jolly good fellow. But professionally, I'm a youth development professional and I have 10 years experience working with African youths. So for the past 3 years, I have invested my time working with youths across 30 African countries, and impact has been over 500,000, through speaking engagement, through master classes, through entrepreneurship programs. So that's pretty much what I do, working with
mm,
young people to help them identify their unique ideas, their unique
mm,
abilities, so that they can
mm,
succeed in education, succeed in
mm,
employment, succeed in leadership. I believe,
mm,
and I've always shared with people around me, that the best way to invest in any industry, in any business, is simply to teach the younger one, because they're the ones
mm,
that take over. Yeah.
mm,
So
mm,
that's
mm,
why I'm inspired by what I do.
Wow. That's amazing. What must have inspired you to want this, to want to create this with your life?
Mm. So growing up, I didn't have the opportunity to go to, the classic primary school.
Mm,
Everything that I know today, I had to fight by
mm,
myself to know them. Abraham
mm,
Lincoln said something very remarkable. I do not
mm,
know who my grandfather was. I
mm,
want to know who his son will become. And that
mm,
inspired me. I want to create a
mm,
name,
mm,
for myself, for my family,
mm,
but
mm,
beyond me, for the people who will hear my story.
mm,
So
mm,
yeah, I don't want to let my background keep my back on the ground. So the
come
fact
on.
that, yeah, I had inferiority complex, I had imposter syndrome, I had
Mm,
all of these mental limiting beliefs, it doesn't
mm,
mean that I should stay there. As a matter
mm,
of fact, if you fall down and remain
mm.
there, people will know that you fell. And all you'll
Wow.
be hearing is sorry. Oh, Mr. Kevin, sorry. Mr. Kevin,
Wow.
sorry. But
Mm,
when you fall and you rise,
mm,
nobody will know that you fell.
mm,
And so I had to, find my way out of those mental limiting beliefs. I had to
mm,
read my way out of there. Or thanks to Ben Carson, thanks to Stephen Covey,
mm,
thanks to John
mm,
Mason, thanks to John Maxwell, all those
mm.
books, I read them back to back, hundreds of
Wow.
them, and then it
Wow.
changed my mindset. It changed my
Mm,
mindset. I started seeing possibilities. And guess
mm,
what I did first? I came back to my sphere of influence, which was the church. I said, okay, I
mm,
know that a lot of young people in this church must
mm.
be going through what I went through, and
Come on
I
now.
started organizing programs for
Mm,
them, how to succeed
mm,
in UTME, how to succeed in WAEC, how to succeed
mm,
in your senior secondary
mm,
school exam. That was what I
mm,
was doing. I
Wow.
never thought that there was anything called now I have leadership and productivity strategy to my name. I never thought of those things.
Wow.
I never thought it existed. I never thought that people could, fly from one
Mm,
city to another city to come speak and then they reward
mm,
you for that. That
mm,
didn't
mm.
cross my mind. I was just interested in helping the next person by my side become a better version of
Wow.
themselves. That was what
Wow.
inspired me. Anybody who is around me to become
Mm,
better. Maya Angelou, she
mm,
said that people can forget what you said, people can forget
mm,
what you did, but they will never
mm.
forget how you made them feel. So if
Wow.
I, with my skill, resources, and knowledge and experience, help
Mm,
people around me to feel better, then I have
mm.
succeeded. And so that
Wow.
that was what inspired me. I kept moving, and consistency creates a broader
Mm,
horizon. It makes you to think
mm,
how best do I do this more. So from
mm,
church to community to
mm.
cities, oh wow! And just
Wow.
last year, for the very first time, I spoke in Rwanda, Kigali. You
Wow.
know,
Amazing.
yeah. So
Amazing.
the
Amazing.
journey has been inspiring.
Oh my goodness. How would you say how long has been in your journey? Is it 5, 10
10
years? Is it
years,
20
10
years?
years, 10
10?
years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. 10 years ago, you had this insight to create something with your life.
Mm,
And it's interesting that
mm,
from our pain, we find our why. From our pain, we find a reason. From our why, in your
absolutely.
situation, you found yourself, you know what, I need to do something. I need to get out
Mm,
of this funk and get into a state where
mm,
I can create and obviously
yeah.
impact the lives of other people. So tell me,
Mm,
impacting others, how does that make you feel as a human being, as a person with a vision?
yes. So
Mm,
I love this question a lot. And
mm,
because I had this conversation a few days ago, I was telling this
yeah.
person that we are creatures of compliments.
Come on.
Complement. Yes, compliments.
Mm,
Everybody you
mm,
see has something to offer. So some can sing, some can dance, some can think,
mm,
some can write, some can speak.
mm,
God made us that way so that we can complement one another. So
mm,
nobody is useless. Nobody was born, for an experiment. Nobody was born by
mm,
accident. Even if
mm,
you were born out
mm,
of wedlock, think about it.
mm,
You are not an
mm,
accident because of think about the processes it takes for a fetus to become a living being. 9 months
mm.
and stages. No, it couldn't have been by accident. It was
Yeah.
intentional, right?
Mm,
So,
mhm,
so that makes me to think whatever it is that I have in terms of my
mm,
talent, my
mm,
skill is not just
mm,
for Val Okafor and his family
mm,
members, it's for
mm.
people around him. It's for the
Wow.
people around him. And I can
Wow.
see the impact left, right, and center. People send messages to say, oh, Sir Val, remember the call we had? And I'm thinking, what call? Oh, you saw something at this event. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, when was that?
Mhm,
That goes to show that everything we
mm,
have in terms of
mm,
knowledge, resources,
mm,
it's for other
mm,
people. And
mm.
it gives you a deep sense of satisfaction, deep sense
Wow.
of fulfillment. It's not
Wow.
money, it's a deep
Wow.
sense of fulfillment. So,
Wow.
what is that thing that you do and then you
Mm,
find fulfillment? You have this deep
mm,
joy, excitement, even when
mm,
nobody's saying, oh, well done, even when nobody
mm,
is saying, oh, thank you, even when people
mm,
are criticizing whatever it
mm,
is that you're doing, commending or
mm,
criticizing, but you just
mm,
find this joy, this
mm,
excitement, this happiness doing
mm,
it. Please just
mm,
focus on it. The reward will
mm,
come. I'm a person of
mm,
faith. And I
mm,
believe that,
mm,
if you see a man who is diligent in his business, who is
mm,
working in purpose, he shall
mm,
stand before kings, he shall stand before great
mm,
people. And I
mm,
know that in all
mm.
labor there's profit. It's the
Yeah.
talk of the lips that tends to penury. So there's no
Mm,
way you will be laboring, especially in
mm,
what you can naturally do and not get a
mm.
reward.
Wow, wow, wow. So I love that. I love that. So you're saying, like, get on with it, do it. Don't worry
Yes,
about the
do it.
reward. Just focus on it.
Yeah,
And you do the
yeah,
work, you get a sense of
yeah.
satisfaction and fulfillment from your work.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
let's go back 10 years before we proceed. Let's go back 10 years. Were there moments
Mm.
in your journey where you felt like quitting?
Wow. Uh, I asked myself sometimes, Val, what are you doing?
All right, talk to me. Talk to me.
what are you doing? Are you sure you're on the right track?
Come on now.
Are you sure you're on the right track? But it's part of life. It's
Mm,
not a full stop. It's a comma. It's not the
mm,
end of the road. It's just a
mm,
bend. So every
mm,
great man that I've read about, every great man that I've read about, and I love reading biographies a lot,
mm,
they
mm.
encountered challenges, and those
Right.
challenges is not to break us, but to
Mm,
make us. Those
mm,
challenges just to toughen our mindset. I told somebody that
mm,
when you do something that seems challenging that you've always
mm,
been afraid of, your
mm.
mind never remains the same size.
Come
It
on now.
stretches.
Come
So
on now.
when you meet something similar in the
Mm,
future, you say, "Oh, I've done it before. I've done it
mm.
before. I've done it before." Yeah. So there were times where I questioned myself, my convictions, and I
Mm,
said, "Val, you're doing the right thing," especially when not those physical rewards were coming, and parents are like,
mm,
"Are you? How can you buy books and give to people? How
yeah.
can you
Right.
organize things and just come? They come for free. Your
Mm,
time. Who's paying
mm,
you for that?
mm,
Nobody." All of those things. But I
mm.
kept on moving. I
Wow.
kept on moving. I said, I will see the end of this road. I will
Come
see the
on
end
now.
of this road. I've
Come
not
on.
gotten there yet, but
Mm,
I'm not where I used to be. That's just the truth.
mm,
I'm
mm.
not every city I travel. People say, "Oh, please take
Wow.
this." Oh, I have this shoes for you. I have this perfume for
Wow.
you. I have this
Wow.
shirt for you. I have this book for you. I have to travel with extra bags, to be able to come
Wow.
home
Wow.
with the gifts. This is
Mm,
just to it is a is
mm,
a is a tip of an iceberg. It's just a
mm,
glimpse of
mm,
what is to come. Yeah,
mm.
it's
I
just a
love that.
glimpse
I
of
love
what
that.
is to come.
I love that. I love the fact that the experiences that we go through are similar. Someone said
Mm,
our journeys may be different, but the enemies that we
mm,
face are almost
mm,
the same. The self doubt,
mm,
the imposter
mm.
syndrome, the what am I doing? Where am I going? Am I crazy?
Yeah,
Let's go conventional. Let's do other things everyone else is doing. Let's
abs-
stop this
yeah,
vision. And so it's similar to visionaries and similar to people on a mission, people who are trying to achieve stuff. And I love that. So that people can hear this, watching this, to understand if you're going through that right
mm.
now, you're not alone. All right.
You're
We've
not
been there,
alone.
we've experienced that.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
now, Val, you are the youth director of an executive leadership firm in the heart of the city of Nigeria. This has
Yes.
come. I mean, come on now. You're here now. Tell us about your role and what you do and the impact that your company is making. Mhm.
Oh, great. So I work as a programs director at Gardens of the Nation International, GODNI. It's a leadership development organization, and we provide executive education to C-suite executives, senior level managers, mid-level, and any
Mm,
individual who just want to develop their leadership capital. And
mm,
one of our visions is to change the African poor narrative of leadership.
mm,
There's always this
mm,
stigma around leadership
mm,
in Africa. And when people
mm.
think about leadership in Africa, they say, "Oh, okay, it's for corrupt people, or you have
Mm.
to get your hands dirty, or
Right.
you have to kill, or you have to bribe your way through." But I believe I was on air a few months ago, and
Mm,
the interviewer was asking me, "So why is it that good people don't venture into politics? Why
mm,
do they say that leadership or governance is dirty?"
mm,
And I told him,
mm,
governance is not rocket science. Leadership
mm.
is not rocket science.
Come
Leadership
on.
is a lifestyle. It's a
Come
lifestyle
on.
of impact, is a lifestyle of vision, is a
Mm,
lifestyle of empathy, is a lifestyle of
mm,
commitment and
mm,
influence, which
mm.
distinguishes an individual from the
Wow.
crowd.
Wow.
So I don't have to be the governor of my state to
Mm.
be able to create an impact. And
Come
impact is a feeling or an experience people have when they
on.
come in contact with me. I've met
Mm,
Mr. Kelvin. The question is, would I want to meet him tomorrow?
mm,
Would I want
mm,
to do business with him tomorrow?
mm,
That's
mm,
impact. The very
mm.
moment you meet somebody and you
Come on.
open your mouth to have conversation and you do
Mm,
business with that person, will
mm,
they want to
mm.
meet you tomorrow? That's what
Come on.
impact is about. And if you
Wow.
leave a positive impact on them, they will come
Mm,
back.
wow.
They will come
Wow.
back. So when you assume a leadership position,
Mm,
it
mm,
just flows naturally because you're a person of impact. You begin
mm,
to think of the people. You begin to think service, not
mm.
manifesto.
Come on
You
now.
think
Come
so?
on now.
So, so that's the narrative that we're trying to change over here. That's what we're
Mm,
teaching the people who come into
mm,
our space and all the
mm,
conferences and programs that we have. Currently, we're having a
mm,
program in Ghana, and we are
mm.
gathering leaders across the African continent to
Right.
teach them
Mm,
on the fundamentals of leadership, what leadership
come,
is about,
come
and
on
how
now.
they can change the African narrative of poor leadership. So this is pretty much my role and what I've been up to.
Wow, that's amazing, man. My legs are really like vibing, like I'm feeling the impact already. Like, come on, I like it. I love it. I love leadership. You know, I love leadership, and I
Yeah.
love when we get it right, when we do it right.
Mm.
And you know what? The
Yeah.
problem with leadership in Africa, I tell you what, there's a lot of problem outside Africa. There's a lot of problem
Mm.
here in the United Kingdom
Mm.
surrounding
Well.
leadership. There's a
Mm.
global pandemic on leadership, you know, and that brings me to the next question with you is we talk about leadership and we talk about
Yeah.
true leadership. You know,
Absolutely.
what is your perspective on the distinction between a leader and true leadership? Talk to
Mm.
us. Mm,
Wow. Okay. So
mm,
a true leader
mm.
is, someone who invests so much in the lives of other people.
Come on.
Someone who is not afraid
Mm,
of the other person
mm.
progressing more than they are doing.
Come
I
on now.
saw a quote.
Mm,
I saw a quote somewhere that true
mm,
success
mm.
is when your successor succeeds.
Wow.
True
Come on.
success is when your successor succeeds. So I'm not afraid of
Mm,
investing in the people, of
mm.
serving the people to make their lives better. It doesn't
Come on.
matter if they become better than I am. It doesn't
Mm,
matter. I want to
mm,
invest in them. I want to show them the opportunities. I want to open
mm,
the doors for them. I want to mention their names in rooms of
mm,
greatness. That's
mm,
true leadership.
mm,
Remember Jesus? He said,
mm,
Peter, do you love me? Say, I love you. Say, the company is yours. Feed the
mm.
people. And he
Come
left.
on.
And his
Come on.
organization grew
Hey.
in his absence. So
Wow.
Jesus Christ
Wow.
was not afraid. He was not concerned about, oh, Peter's going to have more shine than I had. And oh, no, he wanted, in fact, it was difficult for the people to recognize him. Judas had to betray him with a kiss.
Wow. 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 And this is why there's a global pandemic on leadership because a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people are struggling to accept that it
Yeah.
has to be about
Mm,
me. I have to be the best in the group. I have to be the
mm, mm,
smartest. I have to be the
yeah.
sharpest. I have to be the
Mm,
fittest, the strongest.
mm-hmm,
And it's not
mm-hmm,
that. It's about the
mm,
people. You know, you said
yeah.
something earlier. It's not about. It's not about your manifesto. It's about the impact, the things that the result that you're producing wherever you are. And I love
Absolutely.
that. You know, and so as a corporate lead, as the top of an organization, how can we foster positivity within an organization on the premise of what you're saying about true leadership?
Mm-hmm. All right. So I work in one, so I understand what you're talking about.
Mm,
You engage people, your colleagues,
mm,
you engage customers, which of course everybody make forms part of the stakeholders.
mm,
So
mm,
the idea is perception. The
mm.
perception. I mean, especially for those who are coming from the outside, the
Yeah.
perception we give to them about the organization. So
Mm,
how do we may behave ourselves
mm,
outside there as we interact with people? How do we
mm,
compose ourselves? How do we behave? Because I
mm.
understand that people see us as the organization.
Come on now.
When you have a problem with a bank,
Mm,
maybe the customer service executive
yeah.
didn't treat you well. Guess what?
Mhm.
You'll
Mm.
say this bank, I mean, they are rude, all of them, all the people in there, but you
Yeah,
had an encounter with just one person.
just one person. Come on now.
Just one
Mm,
person. So
mm,
we understand that we teach our colleagues to
mm,
maintain that perception of excellence,
mm,
that perception of
mm,
having the right composure as you
mm,
meet with people and you interact with people. They should
mm,
see you as a role model worthy
mm.
of emulation. And even when customers come in, you treat them
Mm.
with respect. You treat them
Come on
with
now.
respect, with love and awe.
Mm,
So this just transcends, through
mm,
the value chain. Yeah,
So again, it's about the
everybody's involved.
perception. Oh wow!
The
So you're
percep
saying
Yes, absolutely.
we got to make sure that we're not just what people see us outside. It's what we are, what we
Yes,
do on the inside. So
Absolutely.
I love that. I love that how one person's experience with a client can completely either increase the perception of the organization or bring it right down.
Already down.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, so talk to me about the impact of personal growth on leadership. Mm,
Hmm. Oh,
mm.
wow. And you cannot give what you don't have. And
Come on
you
now.
cannot you cannot pour from an empty cup.
Come on
So
now.
this
Mm,
just this morning I was talking to
mm,
my friend and I said,
mm,
"Hey, God, you're
mm,
doing well, but
mm.
the top of a mountain is the base of another mountain. So you just
Come on.
keep climbing. You just
Yes.
keep climbing. That's how leadership is. We live in a VUCA world,
Mm,
volatility, uncertainties,
mm, mm,
complexities, and
mm,
ambiguity. The
mm,
evolution of
mm,
technology keeps
mm.
changing and growing
Come on.
rapidly. So we need to, as leaders, constantly innovate the way we
Mm,
think, the way we do
mm,
things, right?
mm,
Yeah.
mhm,
So that's very important to do. So you have to keep
mm,
learning. You have to keep
mm.
learning. You have to keep tolerating people,
Mm, mm. I
giving other
love that.
people the
Mm,
chance,
mm,
yes, to
mm,
express
mm,
themselves, their belief
mm,
system and
mm.
everything. So
Wow.
leadership is a journey, it's like an ocean. You just keep
Mm,
learning. There's no best time
mm,
to
mm,
stop learning. You just keep learning.
mm, mm. I love the synonyms, how you create the emphasis on a mountain, climbing a mountain.
Yeah,
When you get to the top of a mountain, it's the base of another mountain.
mm,
So,
absolutely.
John Maxwell says you never climb a mountain accidentally.
Mm-mm.
He says even if you're trying to climb after the first level of height, your leg starts to ache, everything starts to scream. What
Yeah,
do you do? Where are you going? So
yeah.
you got to keep going intentionally to the next level, to the next level. We got to
Mm,
keep innovating, thinking. I
yeah,
love that. Love
yeah.
it, Val. I love it. Now there's a like I said, there's a pandemic surrounding leadership where most organizations are focused on building followers and
Mm,
keeping people under. What is your
mm,
thoughts on how can we change this? How can we change the mindset from building followers to building leaders? What are your thoughts on
mm,
this? Mm,
yeah. Okay, so it depends on the mindset of whosoever is steering the ship or the
mm,
airplane
mm,
in that organization.
mm, mm,
In fact, this
mm,
conversation I had it with a friend of mine yesterday
mm,
night.
mm, mm,
When people come into your space
mm.
and they cannot find expression in your vision, then you
Wow.
just have an ambition.
Wow. Wow. Let's pause there for a moment. Woo! Oh my God, that's a pin drop moment. I always look for this moment. I've just got one now. So let
Oh
me
my.
repeat that. Let me repeat that. When people
Yes.
come into your presence and
Mm,
they listen to your vision, says no,
mm.
you say it again. You say it again.
Oh, all right, all right. So when people come into your space and they
Right?
cannot find expression in
Right?
your vision, it is an
Mm,
ambition. It
come
is not a
on.
vision anymore. It's an
Oh my
ambition.
world. Oh
Yeah.
my world. Oh my world. Oh my world. Oh, I wish corporate could hear this. Come on now. Because I know what it feels like to work for a firm and to just see
Mm,
yourself as a number and
mm,
not to see
mm.
any irrelevance to yourself. You just have to help
Yeah.
them fulfill their numbers. They ask for
Yes.
the wow moments, wow, our customers, but you don't have no expression. Talk to us. What do
Mm,
you mean by this? Because
mm.
this is powerful, Val. Talk to us.
Yeah, yeah, it
Mm,
is. Okay, so we just all our attention is let's get the bottom line. Let's
yeah,
get the bottom line. Let's get the revenue. Oh, our
uh-huh,
vision is to do $1 million. Our
mm,
vision is so the people are working like machines, and
mm,
you don't even
mm,
ask them what's your plan? What
mm,
do you want to do with
mm,
your life? What do you want to
mm,
do in the next 3 years while
mm,
in this place? That's what leadership
mm,
is about.
mm,
You don't command loyalty, you earn it.
mm, mm.
When people find
Mm,
expression in
mm,
your vision, they'll be loyal
yeah,
to you.
come on, come
When
on,
your vision accommodates their own vision, when
come on.
fulfilling your vision is
Mm,
almost like fulfilling their own vision, they'll be loyal to you. They
wow,
will. That was
wow.
why Peter had to abandon his fishing business, and every other
Mm,
person who followed Jesus abandoned their businesses to follow him because they saw in fulfilling this man's vision, I'm also
mm.
fulfilling mine.
Wow, wow,
Mm.
wow, wow, wow. That is, well, mate. This is good. This is classic. And so now it's the responsibility of the leader to find out why
Mm.
people are working for them, why they are there,
Hmm.
first place, and if their
Yeah,
vision aligns with their vision. Is that right?
absolutely, absolutely.
Wow.
People want to give more than just earning a salary at the end of the month.
Mm,
I mean, they could have tried any other thing, but
mm,
for coming into that space, there must be a
mm,
reason. There
mm,
must be a reason beyond
mm,
going home with a paycheck. There has to be a
mm.
reason.
There
Have
had
you
to be a
found out that
reason.
reason? Yes.
Mm,
Yes.
mm. So the challenge is for the leader. Oh, man, this is wonderful. The challenge is for the
Yeah.
leader. All right, you got a great vision. You got to get the right
Mm-hmm.
people whose vision
Mm-hmm.
align with the vision.
Mm-hmm.
What do
Mm-hmm.
you do when you find out people's vision don't align with the vision of the organization? What do we do then?
Hmm. Uh, you see, so to get to the UK now, I just have to board a plane from Lagos,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
at Gatwick Airport
Wow.
now.
Mm,
Movement does not equal to progress.
come on now.
Yeah. So it's either you realign them or you let them go. There's no two ways about that. If their vision, personal vision, don't align with the organization vision, you let them go. You
Wow.
let them go.
Wow. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. I love it. I love it. I love it, Val. Now I see why I have you here. I love it. I love it. I love it. Another final question before because we're almost 30 minutes. How
All
do
right.
leaders engage? Like, this is now, we know we run a business, we're trying to make profit, we
Yeah.
want to have the revenue, but how do we
Mm-hmm.
engage our stakeholders to foster a collaborative environment for profit making still?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Yes. So, of course. Now, I'll speak from my experience.
Mm,
People want to experience transformation.
mm,
Yeah, when they come in contact with you,
mm,
when you run business with you, and
mm,
then
mm,
transaction happens,
mm,
they want to experience change. If
mm.
it's a service, they want to
Yeah.
get value for their money.
Mm,
So that should be the focus.
mm,
Value,
value.
value for my
Mm,
customers' time, value
mm,
for my customers' money, not
mm,
just how much more can I make, but
mm.
what I sold to you, is it helping you?
Wow. Wow.
The mic you're using right now, how
Yeah.
far is it
Yeah.
helping? Is it giving the right output? How the colon is it? I hope you don't have
Mm,
any problem. But we don't do this.
mm,
We don't try
mm.
to find out if the services or the solutions that we're providing is really helping
Wow.
these people.
Wow. 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 So as a customer for your organization, you got to check in with me as an owner of the
Yes,
business to check in
of
if I'm getting
course.
great value from the
Yeah,
services. So as an
absolutely.
so as an employee of your organization, I also need to check in to see, is this organization giving you great value?
Yes.
Wow.
Time,
Wow.
Mr. Kevin, let me say something.
Yeah.
I used
Talk
to
to me.
say, you
Mm,
know, life is time
mm,
and time is life. Now, listen,
mm,
if you waste your own time, you're
mm,
committing suicide.
mm.
If you waste someone else's time, you're committing murder. I
Wow.
guess I guess that's why it's called lifetime.
Wow. Oh my world, wow. So much nuggets here. So much nugget. This is opening my eyes a lot to a lot of stuff
Mm,
now. I'm getting a lot more stronger mentally because of this conversation here.
mm,
You're giving me great
mm.
value. And
Thank
I'm
you,
beginning to
sir.
see, to how to make this distinction. A lot of people who come on this podcast, we talk about heart-centered leadership from the heart,
Hmm.
and really think,
Yeah,
I know one of the things you really said over and over again is, how do people feel around me? How do the
yeah,
people's lives change? What's the value they're
absolutely.
getting from associated
Mm,
with me? And I
hmm
really love
hmm
that. So
hmm
leadership, it's not about me, It's about the impact that I'm making in the other people's lives.
Absolutely, absolutely. I wish we have more time. I wish we
Wow.
have more time to share the
Wow.
story of Nelson Mandela. I mean, how can a
Okay.
man go to
Mm,
prison for
mm.
27 years? Mr.
Wow.
Kelvin,
Come on.
just subtract 27 years from your age.
Hey, May, that's all my life gone. That's a whole
And
lot.
that's a whole lot. And someone spent
Mm,
those amount of years in prison, not for his own cause, but
come
for the
on.
cause of the people. In fact, Madiba, as he's fondly called,
Yeah.
is just a title given to people born in a royal family.
Wow.
Madiba. So everything was working for him. Was a trained lawyer. He had
Wow.
everything well figured out for him. But
Wow.
he saw the
Mm,
plight of the people, the
mm,
suppression of the people,
mm,
and he
mm.
stepped into the ring. That's leadership.
Come on
The
now.
same thing with Mahatma Gandhi, doing so
Mm,
well in South Africa. And then
mm,
when he was oppressed by
mm,
someone on
mm,
a bus,
mm,
it occurred to him, my people in India.
mm,
So he had
mm,
to go back, forgot
mm,
about his job, went back and started
mm,
advocating, you
mm,
know, and all of that. So when you look at these people, Dr.
mm,
Martin Luther King Jr.,
mm,
you will see selflessness, you will see
mm,
altruism, you will see
mm,
the heart of service for the
mm,
people. It's
mm,
not about them,
mm,
So there's a
mm,
lot there's a
mm.
lot to learn, there's a lot to practice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing stuff. I love it. I love it, Val. Thank you so much. And when I have these conversations like this with people like you, it makes me feel like
Mm,
we're not alone in this journey. We're not
mm,
alone in believing that our principles truly matter. Principles of thinking about other people, true leadership, not just having a title or a
absolutely.
position, not
Yeah,
just being
yeah,
self-centeredness, not just trying to be the
yeah.
best person in the room, but
Mm-hmm,
about the
mm-hmm,
concept of how are we treating other people, how are
mm-hmm.
other people feeling around us. And that's
Yeah.
I've been teaching leadership for the past 4 years now, and I tell you,
Mm,
3 years I was completely thinking someone else completely different. I was on the
mm,
surface level, but something shifted in my awareness that no, it's about more about the people, and
yeah.
it's about the principles of leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for just letting me
Thank you.
know that we're not
Thank you
alone.
so much.
And
Yeah.
so, final one for you before because of time. What's the next
Yeah.
10 years going to be like for Val?
Whoa, 10 years.
Talk to us because I'm excited for
Okay,
you, man.
all right. Yeah. So, Mr. Kelvin,
Mm,
one of my visions is to help presidents
mm,
of nations,
mm,
to invest more in youth
mm,
development.
mm,
So that
mm,
consultant who walks into the room,
mm,
the UN, AU, ECOWAS, advising
mm,
these people that the
mm,
right investment is not in investment in lands or
mm,
buildings, it's investment in
mm.
people. Yeah, it pays the most dividend, you
Wow,
know. So that's like what I hope to
amazing.
achieve. And
Hey, I
I'm
see you there. I see you there. And honestly, I
amen,
see,
amen.
I watch your WhatsApp videos and I watch out your conferences and events that you do. And I said, this guy is going far. This guy is
Mm,
going somewhere far. And I
thank
love
you.
what you do. I love what you're doing, especially for the youth in Nigeria.
Yeah,
I love what
thank
you're
you,
doing.
sir.
I saw your book. I just downloaded the book on
Yeah.
Kindle.
Oh
Dominate,
wow.
dominate.
Dominate. Yeah.
Right? Oh wow, that's an amazing book.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, how can people get to reach out to you, Val? How can people associate themselves
Okay.
with what you're doing in your
Oh,
organization? Yeah.
absolutely. You mentioned dominate. I have another
Mm,
one for
mm.
teenagers. It's titled "You
Okay.
Can't Afford to Be Useless." Oh, by
Wow.
fire, by force.
Wow. I love that. I love that. Oh wow, is that out already? Is that out
Yes,
now?
it's out. Yeah, of course, it's out. It's out.
Wow.
Yeah. So what I
Wow.
hope to do is to my birthday is next week Friday. I hope to
Wow.
do 1,000 copies. Distributed across 5 secondary schools in Nigeria, 200,
Wow.
200 copies per school. So at no
Wow.
cost to them, so that
Wow.
they can embrace
Mm,
self-realization.
mm,
Yeah. So
mm,
yeah, that's what I hope to
mm.
do. My
Oh
vision is
wow.
to put it in the hands of 1 million young people within the
Mm,
next 5 years or
mm.
less. Yeah. So you can
Mm,
connect with me on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn at Val
mm.
Okafor. Yeah.
Wow, wow, Val Okafor. Please, guys, connect with him. And I wanna join you on that. I want to make a difference too. So I hope you
Wow.
send a link where I could make a contribution to that because I think
Yeah,
it's
I'll do that.
fantastic.
I'll
You know,
yeah, I'll send a message after now.
please, please, I'd love to do that. And again, if anyone would
Thank you
like to
so
support what
much.
Val is doing, let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's support. Let's get into the hearts and the minds of young people. Val, wonderful.
absolutely.
Thank,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much. Thank you so much. And
Yeah.
listen, keep going, man. Keep going.
Oh
And I hope to
yeah, I
see you
remember
one
those
day.
words. I remember those words, Mr. Kelvin. Keep going. Oh,
Keep
from
going.
2020. Keep going.
I love it. I love it.
Keep,
Listen, I'm
yeah.
so excited and thank you for your time. And thanks, guys, for listening in. I'm going to end it recording now. Let's just end it.
Yeah.
Hey, wonderful. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Awesome.